Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. And I've got to announce some exciting news. Tomorrow, we start our winter sale. That means we're getting rid of all the old shit we couldn't sell in the summer. Look at this, squirrel t-shirts, discounted. Mugs, discounted. Accountants with wobbly bums, discounted. Oh, she won't like that. Anyway, so there we are. Get onto our shop. Go to, what do we go to? Ustream.news/shop. Ustream.news, and you go in for a slash and then stop. I think that's what it is. Ustream.news/shop. Go and get some Christmas presents for everybody. And there's some real good deals on my my DVDs. You can buy my package if you want. How about that? It's only a little package. But someone's just thrown up. Someone's throwing up in the studio about my package. Oh, well, that's her Christmas bonus gone out the window. How would she know? Anyway, right, so here we go. So you can get Cinderella 1, Cinderella 2 and Boobs in the Wood for a fraction of the price if you buy them for Lollipop, all different. Oh, yes, and there's loads of stuff, including a Danny Postil DVD. Get up off the floor. He's brilliant. Anyway, let's move on and talk about what is coming up. Tonight is the final of Laughter Class down at the Concord Club in Eastleigh, where 9 comedians will be shitting themselves about to go on. They've been coached by the great Nick Coppin, great comedian, great modern comedian. And they've also met some old ones like me and Bobby Davro, Kev Oikian, the Armenian comedian, who is brilliant. And of course, Christopher Biggins, who we all love. And they will be strutting their stuff tonight. And the judges, which includes Gary Bushell and our own Miles Crawford, and of course Vicky Pegleg, will be judging. And the winner gets a bag of sweets and a squirrel t-shirt. So there we go. But we must ask what is going on in the world when Laurence Fox has scaled Boadicea. Is it Boadicea or Boudica now? If you're a lefty, it's Boudica, isn't it? Boadicea, she was some female lesbian transgender queen that drove a chariot with things on it. I don't know, I can't remember history. But someone has stuck a Palestinian flag on it and placards. And Laurence Fox, who's not scared of controversy, who has been suspended or sacked by the brilliant GB News, has climbed up and took this flag down. So one imagines what is going to happen at the cenotaph on Sunday. Let's hope that those Palestinians understand that, or anybody actually who's going to protest, will leave our cenotaph alone, because you're going to upset a lot of old veterans who look forward to marching past it to pay the respect to their dead. And of course, their families will be, and children will be accompanying them as well. It's very important that that happens. Now, how many of these protesters, there were thousands and thousands and thousands, well, I just couldn't stop laughing the fact, yes, I can understand the Palestinian people. Why do I keep calling them Palestinian? I'll be calling them Plasticine in a minute. The Palestinian people protesting about the Israeli bombing of their country. And I'm not poking my nose in that one. I don't want to take sides because I don't know enough of it. But one's just got to weigh it up. 1,400 innocent people killed and 200 civilians kidnapped by Hamas. And so the Palestinian people are going to pay for that, aren't they? And you know what the IDF are like. They'll go in there and start malleting lots of them. Well, let's hope that there are some people. Do you know what I would do? I would agree to the Palestinian, to Hamas saying, free the 5,000 people that are in prison, in Jewish prisons, Israeli prisons, I should say. I'd let them out, and then they'd get your hostages back, then just go and kill them all. I mean, no. Well, you would. What difference does it make? If you're going to war with a nation, it doesn't matter if they've got 5,000 more people to fight. I think you've got to get those hostages home at any cost. I understand it, and at the end of the day, it's none of my business, as long as it doesn't spread out here, really. I was thinking that, why that protest? How can you stop that protest? And I've got the answer to it. Let's glue some Stop Oil protesters down the Mall, then they wouldn't be able to protest. They wouldn't go past. I mean, the world has gone bonkers, and things are getting slightly crazy now. I looked yesterday and it said that there was an earthquake in Afghanistan where hundreds and hundreds of women perished. It didn't land on a women's commune or something like that. It's the fact that they were too scared to escape the rubble because they didn't have a hijab. And of course, the Taliban men, the rescuers, weren't allowed to mix with the women. Something's not right here. Something's not right. I really, really hope to God that the Christmas present that we get is that the Israeli and Palestinian bosses can get together and talk and get backed up. But and then to see that justice is done. The best one ever, which I'll end with before I go over to Ustream, because there's so many things I can't speak about on here, as you rightly know. But I had to think, oh, here she comes, look. Toast, tea. She was the one that made the sick noises. What have you put in this? So here we go. The police in Manchester have been seen taking down posters of missing children kidnapped from Israel and now in Palestine somewhere. And they've taken them down because they didn't want to cause trouble. Come on, what's going on? And they were outside a chemist shop in Manchester, and the chief executive of that chemist, Hassan Khan, he apparently, according to the newspapers, retweeted this. The IDF, Israeli Defense Force, are filthy animals, and he called for Hezbollah and Iran to join the conflict. What's that all about? And so someone that knew this stuck these posters up as if to say, how can you say that when these children are missing? And the police took them down. Have they had a word with Mr. Khan? Apparently now he regrets retweeting that. I mean, we've all pressed the wrong button at the wrong time, but my thoughts go out to the people from McDonald's, and I can't help smiling at this. A geezer dressed in a Palestinian hat walked into McDonald's somewhere and unleashed hundreds of mice, and all the mice had little Palestinian jackets on. Everyone shit themselves and run off. And of course these mice, hundreds of them, have a look in the newspapers with their little Palestinian jackets on. That's his way of protesting. Well, I think that should have a medal for original thought, and it didn't really hurt anyone, did it? Apparently a couple of the mice ate a bit of a quarter pounder and died of food poisoning. And so that's the end of that. Now, I want to talk about someone before I go. This is a friend of mine. I'll have to tell you this now. He's the deputy chairman of the Conservative Party, and his name's Lee Anderson. He used to be a Conservative councillor, and he's a real tough bloke. You can see his programme on GB, and I can't do his accent. I think he's from up there in Mansfield, somewhere like that. But here's the story about him, which reminded me to tell you this story when I saw the McDonald's mice, as they're called. Apparently, his old constituency was absolutely smothered in rats. And so what he called for was the Pied Piper of Hamelin, a new modern one, to come and rid the rats from Mansfield that were running around doing a sniffage and a grabby most. And so this man came along and he got a cage, and in it was a little green rat. And the little green rat got out the cage and ran through the streets of Mansfield, and all the rats come out and followed this little green rat. Thousands of these rats, and the green rat threw itself into the river and drowned, followed by all the other rats. And Lee Anderson was so pleased, he got the little man, the Pied Piper, and he gave him a tenner, which is a lot for Lee Anderson. And he said, fantastic, mate. You haven't got a green lefty, have you? Well, I thought it was funny. Okay, we're going over to Ustream now. Don't forget, go to our shop, get yourself a Christmas present or some for your loved ones, and I'll see you on ustream.com. Come and sign up now. Bollocks to the rest of them. Cool, look at them.
Right, straw, like a child.
No. We've shared a bit of bodily fluid. I am being nice to you.
I want to go home now.